Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, got a cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milk-shaped wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever go to, every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
You should have never been a fad. The black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
And it's been a few weeks. These episodes are, we're not weekly. We're when we're free at this point. And when we can make it to stuff.
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly, yeah. There's usually a couple episodes a month.
Twice a month?
Yeah.
Twice a month's good.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
It's hard getting out there to all these places.
This is true.
Especially, but now the weather's turning, and so, I don't know, it makes you want to go out more.
I agree with that.
And then we are finishing off these Irish beers with the Irish style stout from More Brewing.
Yeah.
Nick's making a huge mess with it.
There's definitely a mess being made here.
More Brewing, a couple locations. We were just looking at Mount Prospect, but they're not Mount Prospect. They're in
Villa Park.
Villa Park
and Huntley.
Huntley.
Yeah.
I always think Mount Prospect's near Huntley.
I get so turned around. When I leave the city on what proximity these little towns are to each other. Because some can be really far away.
Yeah. This is good. I liked Sketchbooks better, but this has like a chocolatiness to it.
Yeah. It's 5%.
Okay.
You taste that chocolate malt a little bit more in this than you do in the Sketchbook one.
Right. It almost has like a burn to it too. Like almost like if it was like a Mexican hot chocolate, kind of like a spicy burn, which is weird.
Yeah, I think with the heavier mouthfeel and the roastiness, it's kind of creating that combo of what you know to be like roasty, chocolatey, almost not spicy, but
yeah, I don't know how. Like it is spicy, but not spicy. It's not bad. It's not great. Sketchbooks was like a step above here.
yeah. I like the chocolate. I do like this chocolatey malt flavor though. Almost a little bit of milkshakey, a little bit that chocolatey.
Maybe it needs like a ice cream or put it over with some cake.
Little cake with a little drizzle over the top, little hot chocolate drizzle over some cake.
But it seems like maybe these breweries forgot how to keep it to style. This Irish style stout.
It definitely leans a little sweeter than drier. It's not as dry as you're used to.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, we'll keep sipping on this as we run down a few stops.
Story Horse from More Brewing.
Okay. Speaking of all these burbs, I was out in the burbs. I went to Whiskey Hill Kitchen.
Yeah, we had to look this up. Apparently, Westmont, Illinois has two Whiskey Hills. One's a brewing kitchen, and one's the original.
Only hills in town.
No whiskey. And
They got the hills.
I mean, they may have hills, but I don't even think there's any hills or any whiskey.
Speed bumps.
At Whiskey Hill.
This place is brand new and super nice. Right next to the train. Like you could literally take the train there or get off the train and just walk right in the front door.
This is full service. This is cocktails. This is pizza. This is a brewery. This is fancy fun for everyone. It's not just your old school back of Industrial Park strip mall brewery.
No, this is nice. Shut the other place down because this is what it should look like.
If you're doing it like this, you don't need two in town. So.
Because over that way is Ike and Oak.
Yes, which is Woodridge, I believe, which borders, I think,
Yeah.
Westmont.
And that would be off in my stop, kind of, if you're looking food and brewery over there. You have Whiskey Hill Kitchen now. You have Ike and Oak, and you have Altar, kind of right around there. And those are really your only places for food and beer.
I do remember Ike and Oak having like a nice outdoor situation.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Space-wise, how does Whiskey Hill compare to Ike and Oak?
It's way smaller.
Okay.
But it's brand new, so it looks really nice. Like they do have a an outdoor patio because it's all basically, it's like downtown Westmont, so it's all like patio sidewalk seating kind of stuff.
I don't mind a patio sidewalk seat. Mm-hmm. It's pretty solid.
And free parking.
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, no one wants to download another app when you leave town and pay for parking.
I don't need the Westmont parking app. I got the Evanston parking app.
You know what I mean? This is what I'm getting at here. You know, it's like all you towns have to have your own app.
Right. Can't I just have Park America?
Right, like
app?
the Metro, right? Like you don't need different tickets to go to this. You just got Metro. You know, they need to unify.
Or the Venture. I could do CTA and Metro.
You know what I mean? Let's do that.
Give me Park.
That's what we need. I'm done with these apps, man. I'm just gonna wing it. They're just gonna have to catch me. I'm not paying.
Westmont cops, see what you got. I just won't come back to Westmont. But you can take the train if you don't want to park too.
Okay.
But it's free parking. Food's pretty solid. Beer is good. My aunt was drinking, and she said they were some of the best stouts, barrel-aged stouts she's had in a long time. And she partakes in a good amount of barrel-aged stouts, so she would know her stuff.
Barrel-aged stouts, fruited sours, IPAs. That's kind of their wheelhouse. These
I didn't see
Whiskey
any
Hill
fruited
boys.
sours.
No.
Had some hazies. They had a lager or a pale ale on that was fine. But after being there, it made me want a beer. I wanted a real beer. So Goldfinger is 5-minute drive.
This is a nice little run up.
So you could go to either way. You could go to Goldfinger first, have a couple beers, then go to Whiskey Hill, have another beer and eat. Or in our case, we ate, had a beer or two, and then went to Goldfinger and had one.
Goldfinger is beer flavored beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're true to style. Like they take lagers very seriously. In fact, all they make is lagers.
Right. They do have guest cider on.
Okay.
And you could buy bottles.
Two Fools?
No.
Two
I think
Fools.
Two Fools is gone.
I think Two Fools is over.
They either had Eris. He said it's either Eris or this other one, and I forget what it was. And they had Is and Was bottles to go.
Oh yeah, they've done a collab in the past with Is Was.
Right.
They did like a land beer. This is some kind of specific type of lager. Like it kind of reminded me of like a fancy. It was very hoppy, but like those noble hops. It was crisp and hoppy, like a Heineken. Kind of felt like that to me.
Okay. But you couldn't drink it there, like the Is Was. You got to take it to go. So, I think I sort of wanted the slow brew pills, slow pour.
Okay.
But I didn't. I think I went with maybe a Mexican lager or the Kolsch. I'm kind of blanking.
Yeah, they do a Dortmunder, which I'm drawing a blank on what the difference is between a Dortmunder and a Mexican lager. But it's one of those places where if you really want to nerd out and observe the nuances of lager styles, that's a place you can do it.
Yeah.
And they take it pretty seriously over there. They even got the horizontal tanks, those horizontal fermenting tanks, because they do those with dovetail. It's easier on the yeast. You can pitch the yeast more than you can in the conical ones. I think they keep the yeast alive longer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Interesting. It's cool. They have a decent sized space. It's like almost a no frills couple like garage room kind of spaces, like cement.
Yeah.
And then they have outdoor seating too.
They do. I've had the biker dude.
Oh, nice.
There on a weeknight, just chilling in the big lawn chairs.
Yeah, there's usually food trucks coming or going every night of the weekend.
Yeah. Not a lot of crews really just take on lagers, and they're universally loved, right?
Metro tried. Metro failed.
Yeah.
But 10 years.
And what about the good folks down at Motor Row? Were they all lagers?
I don't think so.
No?
And then Dovetail is kind of.
And Dovetail has a half and they have a Kolsch. They'll tell you they're continental
They got a
European.
Creek.
Yeah, see. So they're not. I mean, although people love their lagers. But so I'm trying to think of who else.
Right. And now everyone else does a pretty good lager.
Yeah, but so no one's really just focusing just on lagers.
Yeah.
Not here.
There was Urban Chestnut in St. Louis, and that went under, right?
I think they closed one of them.
They closed one.
I think they had one in Germany.
And that was a kind of lager focus. Maybe not only, but.
Yeah. But yeah, to your point, though, like, there's a lot of crews making really good lagers.
Uh-huh. But if you're this Whiskey Hill Goldfinger is a great stop. You could also the Uncle Kim's Pizza is right there in Westmont, and so you could pick up a pizza, go to Goldfinger.
Is it that close?
Yeah, and then go to Whiskey Hill or have an appetizer at Whiskey Hill, order your pizza and a beer, pick it up, go over to Goldfinger kind of thing.
Could have a pizza showdown.
Right.
Because I think it's either Salerno's or Palermo's guys are part owners at the Whiskey Hill operation.
Yeah. And Whiskey Goldfinger also has kind of a pizza phone situation. Like, a Bubble House has this pizza phone. They have a phone there that you can call this pizza place, and they're like free delivery here.
I like that. You're supporting some crew you otherwise probably couldn't get delivered because you don't live in Downers Grove or wherever.
Westmont.
Yeah, Westmont. That's pretty cool. Art History is the other place I was thinking of. They were lager focused, but
they got Geneva
Lager Works. So now when you go to Art History, you might see like 5 different IPAs on it. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
IPAs and smoke beers. This smoke beer might be a lager still though.
Did they move all their lagers to that? So that Bauhaus is now a German Lager Works. Lager Town.
I don't know what German Lager Works, or no, not German Lager Works. Geneva Lager Works. Geneva Lager Works is for sure production facility that'll be co-packing other people's lagers and making Art History's lagers, which opens up space at Art History for other styles of beer. So when you go to Art History,
there's not a German or a Geneva Lager Works beer.
No, they're making Art History beer.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
They
I'm
make
like,
Art History lagers,
we've been talking about this forever, and I've never seen a Geneva Lager Works beer.
which would be kind of cool.
Right.
Just
Why wouldn't it be like not District Brewer's, the other place that brews everyone's beers over by Goose? Great Central. Like Great Central has their own beer.
They have a house brand.
Yeah, they got like 2 house beers.
Yeah, they do.
I feel like Geneva Lager Works should have a house beer.
They probably should. And
Maybe they do.
Now that we're at it, we should be able to just go to Geneva Lager Works and drink all the stuff.
Right.
Like we do at Great Central.
Can we?
I don't know.
See, we don't know. Someone else is listening or watching and being like, I'm sitting here right now. Come out.
I would go to Geneva Lager Works because then you could do
Penrose, Art History. The other place.
Stockholm.
No. Where Suburbia works. Suburbia.
Oh, Plank Road.
No.
Oh, he used to work at Plank Road.
Why do we keep blanking on
We
this
had
name?
their
It's so good.
We had their Lederhosen.
Yeah.
A Scarecrow Lederhosen.
Riverlands.
There it is. Riverlands.
And we keep blanking on this name. Man, it's so good. That was a couple suburban stops. As far as the city, downtown, Adams Street.
This is Berghoff. This is liquor license number 1 in the city.
Yeah.
They got the first liquor license after the town was rebuilt after the fire. At the old Berghoff.
Why aren't the beers better? Like, they're fine. I had a rye lager.
Okay.
Today.
Which sounds like it has potential. I like rye. I like lager.
It was good. It didn't knock my socks off. Good, but it was good. I didn't know what to expect from a rye lager, so I liked it. But I feel like they're always just good beers, but not beers I want to come back for.
Yeah.
Adam Street, but they don't have to be because it's usually tourists and then people who work downtown, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't want to say they coast, but they can coast, right? They don't.
I have some thoughts on the old Berghoff. They I mean, because it's a classic German restaurant in the middle of downtown. I mean, downtown has an identity problem with breweries anyway.
Yeah.
I think Rev tried to go down there, but they said the people who own these buildings, they want too much money. It just doesn't make sense. And then, Berghoff has a tradition. They had, I think Berghoff did like these 3 liters of like soda pops, like root beers back in the day when I was a kid. Berghoff used to have single barrels from Pappy Van Winkle. They used to have Berghoff one-offs of those.
Yeah.
I mean, so they got like a cool history, of like doing some fun stuff. So not having really good beer.
Yeah, no, Brian Shimko, Blue Island, he brewed there for a little while.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
And we met the brewer at like Oak Park Microbrew.
Yeah.
And like we know him, or if he's the same guy, like great
Probably.
guy. Like he's doing good beers, but they like aren't.
Yeah, whether it's Industry Ales, which is the newest brewery downtown.
Okay.
And then when you go to their menu, beer's like the 3rd page. The first 2 pages are like food and cocktails. Food, cocktails, wine, and beer is like the 3rd page. Like it's not even the focus of the brewery, even though it's a brand new brewery.
Interesting.
Like, I mean,
And then you have the other.
Crossbar Giants?
Yeah, which I don't think anyone goes to because it's fucking dicey as shit right there. Like someone's always getting either shot.
It's in the movie
The
theater.
police are coming. That's like the craziest spot to go to.
Which is weird because it's downtown. They had to stop. It's downtown on the 2nd floor. It's on the same floor as the movie theater, and they had to stop having the elevator on after a certain hour because employees were leaving the brewery and getting robbed in the elevator.
Yeah.
So it's downtown in general. Even though this is a town that's got a ton of breweries, great for food. Downtown's never really caught on as a place to go get beer.
Right.
Breweries is a place to go get beer at a brewery.
Right.
It's never caught on. It's kind of weird.
But
I don't know why.
so I do feel like Adam Street is a good lunch spot if you need a beer. If you're downtown, either with family or out of town people, and you're going to the Bean, you maybe go to Cindy's, and you go over to Berghoff / Adam Street. Like it's a good stop, but it's not a stop to be like, I'm gonna go here over Dovetail.
Yeah, you got it. If you're downtown, you go west of the expressway and just go to like Haymarket.
Haymarket or
and then
Cruz Blanca.
Haymarket, Cruz Blanca. Then at that point, you might as well go to Great Central and Fulton.
We're not going to Great Central. Don't.
I mean, but
We got Link's Tap Room coming.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Link's Brewery.
Yeah, in relation to downtown, there's nothing in the Loop proper. You'd have to go to West Loop if you want like some pretty solid places to drink beer at breweries.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a shame. But that's downtown in general. I mean, like you said, downtown's not really a destination for a Chicagoan unless you're going to do something that people who are in town for a convention would do.
Yeah, it's too expensive for anyone to have a spot there. But those were my stops. View Place, one new place. Berghoff, Adam Street. I make it to every 2 years probably. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Goldfinger, that was my 2nd time there, so I haven't checked that out, but I always recommend it, and I always try to drink their stuff when I'm at Iswas because I only want one Iswas, and they always have Goldfinger on.
Yeah, I like that Goldfinger's around because they're the only ones that are really doing that lager thing. Mm-hmm. It kind of exclusively like with Pride,
Yeah.
So good for them.
So I was out and about. What about you, Nick? Where'd you go?
I'm living vicariously through you, bud.
What?
Yeah, I know.
I don't even go that many places.
I mean, I don't know. It just sounds like you went to three whole places this week, bud.
I'm going to Blind Corner tomorrow.
Oh man.
Do you know they have a series of beers I was looking called Sub 4, like sub 4% beer. They have a double hazy IPA, 4.6. Mm-hmm. How are they doing that? I'm excited to try it.
This is the Do they share a space with
Go?
Athletic? Oh, Go Brewing.
I think they kicked him out.
That's what it seems like, right? You don't hear about Go at all.
Seems like
It seems like it's a
Blind
blind
Corner.
Yeah, this is a Blind Corner space. Yeah. Right across the parking lot from Solemn Oath.
Yeah.
So if you're talking 1-2 steps, that's a good one.
We'll see. I might not go. I might just go to Blind Corner.
Oh, you might just go to Blind Corner and leave. I think that's the last thing. When I went to Blind Corner's launch, that's exactly what I did.
We'll see how we're feeling tomorrow. But yeah, excited to check that out. That'll be my next stop. So, but you gotta go hit it up, man. You gotta go to the places I don't go to. I can't go to.
The challenge is accepted. I'm gonna find somewhere to go.
You need to go to Buckle Down.
Wow, Lyons, Illinois. Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Or Flossmoor. Report back on
What's going on at
Flossmoor.
Flossmoor? Wow. Then maybe I could eat at Homeward Brewing, because I haven't eaten there.
There you go.
I haven't been to Flossmoor in a while, and if the weather breaks, maybe I could sit on the caboose.
All right, take the train down.
You know, maybe the ice cream shoppy will be
Oh
open
yeah.
down there.
Okay.
Yeah, they got the train caboose that turns into an ice cream shoppy in the
Oh,
summer.
funny.
Yeah,
Maybe too early, but maybe not.
maybe not. It's gonna be 78 Monday.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so
What else is happening? What else is going on? We got You're Under Glass coming up in 2 weeks.
yeah, it's gonna be at the Harris Theater. That's the opening ceremony to Chicago or Illinois Craft Beer Week. I haven't really seen much else outside of that,
As far as events.
as far as events go.
I'm gonna
Which,
skip it and go to Chicago Dogs opening game.
man, that sounds nice. They're good. I saw they're giving away.
Jerseys.
They're giving away a nice jersey too.
They're not nice.
No, it's like thin.
It's like the plastic, like the plastic clothes. It's not plastic, but it like feels like kind of cheap plastic. Like
Okay.
if you wash it, if you dry it too heavily, it may
Huh.
like melt,
Oh,
kind of like
you gotta
feely.
air dry. You gotta
Yeah,
air
like
dry your
it's not
dog's
gonna
jersey.
get wet,
Yeah.
but you probably don't want to dry this.
Yeah.
It's not a comfortable wear.
I'm kind of surprised about that we're even still calling it Illinois Craft Beer Week if
There's one event.
there's no closing ceremony. And then after the open.
There's the passport thing. People do the passport.
Okay.
We don't do the passport.
But it's a thing.
It's a thing. Other people like to do it.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, they're not gonna convince me to do this passport thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think people that remember what Chicago Craft Beer Week was aren't around enough and vocal enough to make enough noise so that Illinois Craft Beer Week matters in the way that Chicago Craft Beer Week used to.
I guess, but it was been 3 weeks and you didn't go anywhere. You're gonna go to like a bunch of events in a week.
What if they're cool events? I mean, because events are different than, hey,
We went beer fight, alley fight,
pulling up a chair.
back. You want to open a close.
Yeah.
Beer fight, alley fight, bowling with the Brewers.
I want a giant festival at some point right in the middle
Want
of
a
this thing.
dodgeball tournament.
I want
a Sunday fun
I
day.
want a Sunday fun day at Goose, or maybe like a miniature golf tournament like they had before.
And you would go to these 6
Oh,
events. You
for
go.
sure. This is the stuff that alcoholics are made of, let's be clear. But yeah, if there's a frenzy of events and they're all happening to commemorate a week, you would probably go.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if there's a music fest in town for 4 days, right? You would consider going all 4 days if it's in town.
No.
No?
No.
You would go one day. The one day thing is a newer thing though.
Yeah.
Like the last time I went 4 days and I haven't been back.
And like because we're never on an unrelated note, I saw a TikTok and someone's like, "How old is too old to go to a music fest?"
Mm-hmm. I'm going one day. I'm not going all 4 days.
Right.
Beer
but they're
fest
like, they like capped it at like 35. They're like, nah, you probably shouldn't. They're like, if you're going to a music fest like Coachella, they're like, you're not allowed to camp out. If you're past that, you have to get a hotel. You're not.
Yeah.
You gotta do that. But
You get past a certain age where it just makes sense. Like if you don't have VIP, then
Right.
you probably shouldn't go.
you want a chair, and you want VIP.
This was my issue last time I went. I think by day 4, I was like, you know what? I'd just rather go have some ice cream. It's 11 a.m. I'm like, I had this entire day that I was
Put
going
my
to
headphones on and sit outside. It's the same thing.
I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home. Yeah.
There's no line for beer at my house.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, but kudos to the guild because I think, Harris Theater is way cooler than Chicago Union Station.
we got to get that guild president on to talk to him about what's the guild doing. Is this event going to bring people in if no one knows about it? Because no one was going, not no one went to Beer Under Glass, but the numbers were down from what they were.
And maybe they could talk about that.
Right. So moving it to a different place.
The one advantage of Union Station is that you didn't have to drive.
Yeah, people from the suburbs could come in.
You're gonna have to figure out a way to get to this thing. This thing is downtown, just like Union Station. It's infinitely harder to get to.
You're not parking. There's that underground parking, but no one wants to do that. That's like a
Millennium Park.
I have to pay $30.
Yeah, it's gonna be $20-$30 easy, and probably closer to $30-$40. Yeah.
Because you're not finding street parking.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna have to get off at their train station and take a cab over, or pay $30-$40 to park.
Yeah, or walk from the train.
That's a Brad Chmielewski thing right there, but yeah, I'm curious to know what their thought is as far as capacity, and then and if getting there is a concern for anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. So we should do that. That's a good call for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reach out to them, see what's up. Anything else you've seen on the calendar or events? There was a
next week. So that puts us at. So this would be, if he comes on, that would be the day before Beer Under Glass.
Yeah, or we talk to him afterwards.
Or it could be a post game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did see a post from Metropolitan Doug saying, "Stay tuned."
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Or no, it said, "We'll be right back." Right? Did it say "stay tuned" or "be right back"?
Well, what happened last time? Well, how did Metro end? They
went bankrupt and assets got sold.
They sold their assets,
So,
but their recipes are being brewed by Zombie Metropolitan
Right.
out at Shorefuse.
Is Doug going somewhere?
Is he going somewhere in a Metro capacity? He was. I mean, he does.
Or it's just gonna be a brewer at like Lynx, something like that. Oh, that's right. I went to Peace too. How'd you
like Peace?
Yeah, it was fine. All new beers.
Yeah, like they have a barley wine, they have a double IPA, but it's not moose knuckle and it's not camel toe.
Yeah, everyone in there, 40 over at Peace. This was I think it was like a Friday afternoon, evening thing.
Karaoke would be Saturday, right?
I don't think they do that anymore.
Oh no.
I think it's just a old people out of town place.
Yeah, my manager came to town and we ended up at Sunday at Peace on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't mind it. And that's when I noticed, they have all the styles, but they all got different names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, get rid of these recipes, huh?
Yeah, but anyway, I don't know where Doug. Maybe he's going to Peace.
Maybe he's going to Peace. Maybe he's going to Zombie Metro. Maybe he's going to
Pilot Project
or Lynx or the new Pilot Project that's opening in Wrigley.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's 2 Pilot Projects now, 2 brewery houses.
Wait, they're going to brew there?
They're going to brew there too, allegedly.
Oh, I didn't think they were going to brew there.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't sound like it's a satellite tap room. It sounds like it's another brewery.
Those guys just have infinite money.
They got the giant brewery up in the old Paps up in Milwaukee. They got the brewery over across from Congress Theater.
Right.
And now they got a third brewery, and it's in Wrigleyville. Which makes sense if I would assume they're going to be making beer for the Cubs, because then that's a win.
I'm going to say what I said on the last episode about Black Lung. We don't need 3 Black Lungs. I don't need 3 pilot projects.
Yeah.
I don't need 3 of any. I don't need 3 Moors. I don't need 3
You're definitely getting 3 Moors, right? Because there's a third Moor.
I think 2 is good if they're far enough away from each other or a good distance.
What they say, man, 2's a couple, 3's a scene. Everybody's looking for a third.
Yeah. I think there's 3 altars.
There are 3 altars. Yeah.
We didn't need 1 altar. Huh. That's a nice space. They are nice spaces.
They're nice. If you do it's Wrigley. People are gonna drink.
Oh yeah, it's gonna do well.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do it, I guess you do it at Wrigley. But we'll see. I'm curious about it. And then I'm curious about Crust. What if I just go to Crust? I thought about this the other day.
Just head over now.
I could go to Crust Brewing. Crust Brewing, Irving Park.
Tap room. Satellite tap room.
Yes.
Not a brewery.
Not a brewery.
Crust tap room.
I want to get to the bottom of this pilot project thing. All the outlets are reporting it as a brewery. So I want to go there and see, is it a second location or is it an actual brewery?
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay.
And do they have Donna's pickle beer?
I will riot if they don't have the house Donna's pickle beer.
You might as well just go to Pilot Project and the other one right there that no one talks about.
Over.
Be cool.
You're talking about
Good times.
in Wrigleyville?
Good times.
I'm going to pass on Good Times, but
How's that still open?
I think
Right?
some people just have longer cash than other people.
Okay.
You know,
I've never heard.
our rate of losing money and the tolerant level that we can handle is greater than the other people who have now closed.
Yeah, I can never have a restaurant.
I mean, because the liquor program is going to carry most of the profit at pretty much all these places.
Right.
Liquor and beer, I mean. So, and if you go to Good Times and, you know, you get the Miami Sound Machine or whatever the fuck they're selling, it's just like, man, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is a world-class city. What are we doing with this Good Times? And I think there's one called Dynamite or some shit on draft, and I'm just like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. That's where I'm at with it, man. I don't know what to say. So, but I will go check out Pilot Project.
Man, we are like ragging on places.
No,
here.
I mean, you know, you just.
I expect more.
I mean,
I think everyone, you can do better.
and what's wrong with that? What's wrong with expecting more? This is a town with, you know, half acres in here. You know, Rev. You know, Dovetail. You know, beers where in most cases you drink these beers and you're like, you know what? These are feel good operations here.
Yeah, we're often comparing like Revolution stouts to Goose's stouts, and like More plays in there, Whiskey Hill plays in there, and then you guys are like screwing around with your double hazy. That's like I
don't know.
How can you make really good beers of this style and then you like phone it in?
You bring up a good point, though. I mean, a lot of these places when they first open don't end up being what in their final form. You know, like Open Outcry is a good example of that. I went to Open Outcry, a week or so when they opened, and then you go when Will Turner's there, and it's not the same beer.
Right.
So maybe you just need time to grow into these
find
things.
their voice.
I think so. That's part of it. And even it was before my time. The biggest example is a half acre of that. You know, Lincoln Park Lager from whenever they were brewing it up in Stevens Point.
Yeah, they weren't great.
People would talk shit about it.
People drank it because it was
like,
Chicago beer.
There's like 3 breweries here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, these are all good points though. Northside breweries, it's a good time to just get reacclimated with some of the new offerings. The 3 newest ones actually, probably in Chicago.
What Pilot Project?
Crust Brewing, Remote, and Good Times. Good Times was last summer.
That's it. It feels like it's been there for a while, but
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are 3 of the newer ones. So yeah, all right.
Challenge
accepted.
You don't have to go to Flossmoor.
It's just like 30, it's like 35 miles away,
You gotta go to Good Times. You're going to Flossmoor or Good Times? If you
I could ride my bike to Good Times. Yeah.
Anything else? Any other events or any other news you noticed?
No, I think that's it, man. I think that's it.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Excited to see what Blind Corner has. I don't know what else I'll make it to before our next episode. If I'm at this Chicago Dogs game, probably going to Short Fuse afterwards.
There you go. Is there parking at the Dogs game?
Yeah, it's like $3-4.
Okay.
And you can just tailgate it in the parking garage if you want it.
Oh, nice.
Not a lot of rules, and it's mostly families.
Okay.
The Dogs game, so
Yeah.
no one's getting trashed at the Chicago Dogs game.
Fair. They all got to get back to wherever they're from.
Yeah, and you're paying $9 for a liney. Sometimes they have Rev, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I did say that they have fireworks on the schedule, so
Nice.
fireworks are always fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you make it till the end.
Oh yeah, you gotta make it to the end to get fireworks.
No one makes it to the end.
No man, that's too bad.
But then that's gonna do it. Irish style stout from More Brewing. Probably cannot find this right now. It's out of St. Patrick's Day season,
Yes.
but fun one to try. We'll revisit some of these again next year, I'm sure. That's gonna do it. Take care.
Cheers.